Okay, just 1 second. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I'd like to invite the speaker, Dr. K Jayaraghavendra Rao, who will talk about climate smart agriculture and horticulture. I now request the speaker to begin. Thank you.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. K Jayaraghavendra Rao. Are you able to see my screen, sir? All of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I can see.
Okay, just
Can
a
put in
minute.
slideshow mode.
Yeah, I'll just put it. I'm on the job. Okay, then I put it on slideshow mode. Yeah. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
slideshow mode. Okay,
Yeah.
then
Mm.
yeah. Okay, well, viewers, the current topic, good afternoon to all my students, viewers, and all that. I'm Dr. K Jayaraghavendra Rao, Principal Scientist retired from the Indian Institute of Horticulture Research. Okay, and then all my things are known here. So now, so what are this climate smart agriculture and climate smart horticulture and why we chose this particular topic? So there is a little background to what we've been doing here. You see, recently we were asked to conduct a training program which is coming up on this November 25th, 26th and 27th on climate smart horticulture. See, everybody knows that today it's all the there's a lot of narratives going on with respect to global warming. Then there are so many climate changes. Everybody talks about global warming, the rainfall patterns have changed. And then in this scenario, is it that the same Kharif, Rabi, and summer is going to work for you? I'm not very pretty sure about that. And at the same time, when the climate is so fast changing, whether it is man-made or it is, calamities caused by global warming, greenhouse gases, and so on and so forth, it contributes to the achievement of when I use a climate smart agriculture or when I use a climate sensitive agriculture, okay, along with nature, when the El Nino effect as well. See, now when the El Nino effect comes and how the rainfall patterns, okay, how the global warming and all these issues are going to take place. So, what sort of adaptations can we do, and how agriculture and horticulture is going to change the whole scenario is the very present day topic. So, we also use the green economy. There's a carbon footprint coming up there. Okay, and then who is going to use more of the fossil fuels, and then why the soil is getting lost and all that. So sustainable intensification, it's going to be on the availability dimension of food security. So you are already very well aware with the C3 and C4 plants. So therefore, why do we say that a C4 plant is more effective? Why all the narratives of Summit, which is coming and saying that, we have to grow more of maize and less of the other crops? Because by reality, maize is a C4 plant. That means it's got a more efficient carbon utilization mechanism and a better photosynthesis mechanism. And therefore, people are going towards maize. And then, all the dryland farming approaches, and today we say this is the year of millet. So why are we telling millet? It's not only about the nutrition part, but these are some of the plants which are so more climate sensitive, very hardy in nature, and then it also gives nutrition and it can survive on any environment. See, otherwise it's simply the C3 plant, the paddy after paddy, taking up huge resources of water, fertilizers, labor, and so on and so forth. So therefore, the policies of the government and internally making all the approaches is going to be very thick. See, it is not a new agriculture system or a set of practices. Climate sensitive agriculture is going to actually be in harmony with the synchronization of practices and policies already existing and some little fine tuning. See, suppose you come to know that you are a sugar patient and then you should not fast and you should have a very uniform blood sugar and you should control your BP and so on and so forth. So how are you going to make it climate sensitive or with the routine practices when the changes have already occurred? Okay, this is how people are going to do it. So now there are so many supporting partners, the IFPRI is on one side, the World Bank, the FAO, the CGIAR group, the ICR and other thing, and there's already a climate change, agriculture and food security system. So people have been experimenting, working day in and day out to tell you that which are the climate sensitive crops and which are the non-climate sensitive crops where you are going to lose. See, it is already farm income, farmers income, as you have seen our Niti Ayog, which talks about doubling farmers' income and not just the farm income. So even the DGICR says it is more crop per drop. So all these things are hinting at only one thing, that is the climate smart agriculture. So these are the organizations involved. Okay, what are the climate sensitive agriculture approaches? First is the landscape management. So in the landscape management, what do we do? What are the crops you grow? How are you going to do the crop rotation? Which are the climate change? What should you grow in Kharif? What should you grow in Rabi? And what should you grow in summer? See, for example, tomato comes in all the seasons as a horticulture crop, Kharif, Rabi, and summer. But whereas, if you take wheat, it comes only in the month of winter. It's a Rabi crop. So why are these things happening? Because the sunshine hours and the number of sunshine hours required are very important for landscape management. Then water management. So which are the drought tolerating crops, and then in the waterlogging situation, what crops have to be grown. In the soil management today, of course, there's a very great narrative which is coming up with the organic farming, increasing the soil carbon content, and working with the soil microflora, fauna, and so on and so forth, so that is going to be very compatible with the rhizosphere. And then all this biological nitrogen fixation coming from rhizosphere, Rhizobium, Azospirillum, Azotobacter, okay, mycorrhiza for the phosphorus solubilization and so on. Then coming to the energy management, okay, the if instead of simply depending on the fossil fuels, and today it is all very great things coming up with this electric rechargeable energies, and the genetic resource manager also management also. Today many of you may not have heard. There is a concept called as the organic seed production. Organic seed production means a seed which is bred through all the organic products without the use of any inorganic inputs, and that seed is going to give more response towards the organic inputs. So this is how even our genetic resource management, and today in extension, agriculture extension, we talk about participatory plant breeding, especially the African tribes, the communes, and here also in India, we have trained all our farmers to have this participatory plant breeding for genetic resource management, where the farmers collect the climate hardy seeds, and they will tell you which rice has to be grown in which season. Unlike the other traditional hybridization program, the selection and all that, which might not work. So one by one, we'll go with this climate smart agriculture approaches. Okay, and it also requires a coordination across the agriculture sector. See, now when your crops have changed, so the livestock, okay, livestock also will change, or the same livestock will also adapt to these things. Recently people, there were some lot of cows which died, and then due to bloat or tympani, we call it. Okay, and then they cut open, it had eaten a lot of plastic. So whatever is there in the environment, the cow or the animals or the livestock eat it. So therefore, when you make more and more organic, more and more climate sensitive agriculture, not only that your yields are going to be sustainable. See, today we talk at a record horticulture production of about 354 million metric tons, and somewhere around less than that, about 2-3 million metric tons is our agriculture production. Then even in fisheries also, when you use climate sensitive agriculture, okay, in tune with the harmony, the breeding season of fishes, which is mostly the raining season, the breeding centers, all these things can be very equally and beautifully coordinated. And obviously our reforestation programs, which is going to bring you rains, okay, also has a climate sensitive approach. It is not that simply you break down all the forests, convert them to resorts, and then our human beings go to Nandi Hills and litter all around, and that sort of climate sensitive agriculture we are trying to promote. So it is called as the crop livestock animal flora fauna interaction. Very important. So now How are we going to do all these things? So, first of all, the research has to take place on climate sensitive agriculture. Plant breeders are working with climate sensitive crops. Okay, and then a narrative is already created, and we have created enough awareness. A lot of PhD studies are also there. Pooja, my student, has already logged in. And I see a lot of PhD thesis coming from agriculture extension. They say, what is the recently I was reviewing one paper. So, what is the awareness level of climate sensitive agriculture among the farmers? Whether farmers are really aware, or what sort of adaptations they are doing? Are they going organic, creating their own compost, or growing crops in the off season? In IAHR, there's another narrative which we are doing, which is called off season cultivation of fruits and vegetables. So, especially there's a very high demand for bell pepper. Okay, okay, and then there's a very high demand for gherkins, English cucumber, and peas. These are the three items which is consumed almost throughout here in the urban area. So in the crop, in the Center for Protected Cultivation at IAHR, we are trying to change the climate variables, and then we are trying to put it in the actual field. So that is how we are trying to do. So what are the services to farmers we can give? So obviously the weather forecast, we have got a beautiful weather, not only the IMD, the Indian Meteorological Department, but we also say that this time the global warming has taken place. This time the temperature is going to increase. See what happens when temperature changes are there, and how farmers should adapt. See, normally when the humidity levels are high, okay, the fungal infection is going to be very, very high. So therefore, based on the relative humidity, we'll ask them to take a prophylactic spray of any fungicide or whatever it is. So when it is very dry, like in Telangana and Hyderabad, the fungal infections are not so much, because there also they do grow some grapes and all that. And if you test the and eat the vegetables grown in a dry area and that grown in and around our Malur, Kolar, there's quite some sea difference. Because of the climate parameters, okay, normally the one grown in harder environments are more tastier. Both the TSS, the total soluble sugars, the acidity, and things like that. See, this is the leaf color chart, okay, for climate smart technologies. And then what are the climate smart practices? What this leaf color green to black indicate, the green one are more sensitive to climate smart agriculture. So we'll also give seasonal forecasts and longer term climate trends. So already our people, there's a Institute for Abiotic and Biotic Stresses. The abiotic stress is situated in Baramati, where my friend Dr. Samir Reddy is the director. So his job is to work only on this climate sensitive things and what are the abiotic stress, how people should adapt. So very quickly we'll go. The climate smart agriculture is a multi-institutional linkage mechanism. The extension organizations on one side, the policies on the other side, research organizations, ICR on the other side. Okay, and input dealers also trying to promote the same narrative. So how the climate smart agriculture in India has thrived, we'll quickly go. Okay, so these are the various things. I'll come to the actual practices on the other side. So we have our Krishi Vigyan Kendras working. We have SMS advisory through mobiles coming through all our extension workers. We have community radio platforms, weather information coming from the Indian Meteorological Department. Okay, then all the which are the implements to do, then all the soil and water conservation practices, and right from plant variety to agronomic practice to extension service, we have become now climate sensitive. I have not seen any extension service which is so climate sensitive from the past 50 years. Okay, now we'll quickly go. So these are all, our NICRA project, National Innovations and Climate Resilient Agriculture. This project is run by CREDA. When I was in NAM, I used to coordinate with them. I'll give you one example how a climate resilient agriculture or a climate smart agriculture practices are working in cotton, for example. Now, the BT cotton seed is a very costly seed. I think most of you know that. So, especially in rain-fed production systems, okay, what the farmers, I used to work in a place called Chautupal, Thalasingaram, okay, yes, Lingotam. These are all my adopted villages. I almost worked there for 20 years. So what farmers used to do, we used to tell them, see, the rains are going to be delayed. So, the BT cotton seed is but quite a costly seed. Each seed packet will be about 400 to 500 rupees. So they will keep more seed. So they go on dibbling the cotton. That is how the sowing is done. And when the germination does not take place, they will sow it again and again. So there is no question of gap filling after some time. Farmers were trained to check the germination percentage based on the moisture content of the soil and the other parameters. They should ensure a minimum plant population. This is what we were training them in NICRA project. We were giving technology demonstrations, capacity building and all that. So now, see, now when does the cotton bollworm lay the seeds? When the flower opens in cotton, or similarly the fruit fly in our Docus dorsalis. Okay, that is in case of mango. The flower opens somewhere around Sankranti time, January time. So very ideally, when the flowers are very soft, okay, it is that time when the eggs are laid. But sometimes what happens because of the last time I gave a lecture on biostimulant, because of some okay, internal manipulation of the NAA, the GAA, gibberellic acid, naphthalene acetic acid. Sometimes there may be delay in the flower opening, or there may be early flowering also can occur. So this is known very much in climate smart agriculture. And as a routine measure, it is not just the scientist of entomology, agronomy, or plant breeder. The extension workers like me or extension scientists like me are also trained enough, so they'll be closely monitoring when the flower opens. So if I know that, okay, the flower is going to open next week, this week itself, all my training, demonstration, awareness, mobile apps, everything gets activated. Just like in the earlier days, about 50 years back, we used to have the Charcha Mandals. They were called the RRF, Rural Radio Forums. But today's extension workers, like my students here, they talk about DMF, Digital Media Forum. This was also one of my projects in NAM. So therefore, we give them awareness before an event occurs. So that is called prophylactic. Prophylactic means before you get some disease, you should take some measure. That is called prophylactic. Similarly, in climate resilient agriculture or horticulture, what we do is, when does the flower open? When does the rains get delayed? When does the temperature increase? So all these forecasts will have some implication on the botany of the plant, especially the number of leaves. See, for example, if you take all this, decis is a pesticide what we spray. See, and nowadays, even this fertilizer shortage of DAP and all was there. So now the nano urea has come where the fertilizer uptake is through the leaves and the hydrathodes. That is, hydrathodes are small cells in the stomata. So which is on the dorsal side. Dorsal means on the bottom side of the leaf. So now all this biology, botany we know, and then we tell these people, okay, if you give a foliar spray of any nano urea through drones, it is only going to be on the upper side and not on the dorsal or the lower side. So how are you going to do efficient? Again, you have to take a knapsack sprayer or a buck sprayer, and then you have to ensure the spray. And then which are the leaves which is going to take more of all your nutrients and all these pesticides and other things, the meristematic leaves on the top portion, that is going to take. So there is no point in simply drenching it with a pesticide or a nano fertilizer and then making it climate inefficient. And already the rainfall is also changing, the humidity is changing, the temperature is changing. So we'll give some more examples. So how we implement it, look at this, our ICR, NRM, Natural Resource Management Division, and our extension division with the DDG extension is also involved. CREDA is going to do ATARI, Agriculture Technology Application Research Center. We have one at Hebbal here. Okay, through the KVKs and with all the NICRA villages, we implement this sort of a climate sensitive agriculture. Obviously, we do a participatory rural appraisal, focus FGD, focus group discussion, have baseline surveys and develop action plans, and then all the interventions based on the climatic schedule. If it is kharif, if it is cotton, if it is a vegetable, a 90 days crop, okay, suppose, let us take a crop like bhendi. Okay, bhendi crop is also for about 90 days. But when does the bhendi fingers come? Okay, the bendi, the fruit is called fingers. Okay, bendi, banana also it's called finger. The bendi fruit comes around 60, 45 days. It starts and the harvesting continues up to 75 days. So you should be very, very careful these dates and plans and not in a climate sensitive agriculture. You are not supposed to give a very general recommendation. Nobody wants a general recommendation. People want the recommendations to be specific. Training the FPOs with all this sensitive information is the crux of climate sensitive agriculture. So all these interventions we told, okay, this is how NICRA works. So I'm not going into much details of these things. Okay, and then look at some of the implements which are we are going to use in case of climate sensitive agriculture. So timely sowing of operation you have to do, then precision planting, because I told you in cotton and all, good germination and better crop stand has to be ensured. So the many of the machines are very costly, so therefore we have a custom hiring center. Then obviously the crop residue recycling to increase the organic carbon content. So with this also we go on going, and I told you more crop per drop and increasing the crop productivity. And today the labor is very costly. Okay, at least I have seen minimum 500 rupees. Sometimes if the labor has got a lot of drudgery, that fellow charges you 700 rupees as well. The female labor gets less. Many of my students were asking, sir, I asked this question, why female labor gets less and why the male labor gets more? Obviously because of the hard work which are involved. So there are some of the the happy seeder, the ridge and furrow planter, all these things will ensure a minimum crop stand. Especially it is not that you throw some seed and go away. It should, it is almost climate sensitive agriculture is looking like a small child. When the child will cry, when the child will and all these things are going to be used. Even the drum seeder and zero till drill that has been made. That is without disturbing the topsoil, which is having high nutrients and things, plant nutrients. We are going to do these things. So then some of the other issues are also going to be addressed in climate sensitive agriculture. So surface water harvesting potential, obviously we are going to have more of farm ponds. Okay, then even in urban rainwater harvesting also we have structures. So we have farm ponds and then we have all these participatory approaches. Groundwater recharge structures we have been doing. Obviously, every application is through a soil test and a leaf analysis in case of horticulture. So based on the leaf analysis, we'll come to know whether they have applied more of N or P or K. And I used to ask my students also this question. Yesterday I was asking some of these students. So when do we use muriate of potash and when do you use sulfate of potash? Obviously, sulfate of potash, okay, should be used in alkaline soils. Okay, muriate of potash should be used in acidic soils. See, especially when you go to the laterite soils, coffee plantations, Kerala, they're all acidic soils. Even all over Mangalore side is all acidic soils. So if you go to our Bidar, Gulbarga, black soil, they are highly alkaline and sodic soils. So all these things, apart from that, the climate is also changing. So now the farmer has to really do a PhD in agronomy and then he has to cultivate the thing. So burning of crop residues should be avoided, obviously, because it's not. It may create more rain. Green and brown manuring, okay. Then water saving paddy cultivation, they're also called as, or okay, direct seeding is also there. Automatic weather decisions are taken. Then vaccination for livestock, especially foot and mouth disease. I got a lot of my veterinary students who are already telling me when the rainy season comes, okay, the foot and mouth is going to increase. When it is a little moist, okay, especially in a Bangalore area, which is actually a dairy hub, okay, the buffaloes don't thrive here, but only the Holstein Friesian thrives very well here because it's almost a very similar climate like America, and then the Red Dane. But some of the hardy bulls and all are very good in thriving at the very hot climate. Okay, so all these things we are going to use, and then all the livestock feeding, housing, and manure management that emits least methane, because more methane, more the greenhouse gas, and more is the global warming, and more is the rupture of the ozone layer, and therefore you know, because of global warming, more ET, evapotranspiration, okay, and then more rains. Obviously, everybody knows this. So then all the agro advisories today, my present students who are extension workers today are no longer the students like me when I started my career as an extension guy way back in 1981. I was a BSc student. In those days, we used to do method demonstration, farm and home visits, and all that, because that is a very costly affair, and then home to home going is very difficult. So today, most of the agro advisories is only through mobiles, WhatsApp groups, and things like that. And then, weather insurance packages. See, now people have got a misnomer that we give crop insurance. Nobody will give you a crop insurance because a crop can fail because of your mismanagement, your agronomy, and plant variety, and so on. So, therefore, what the bank takes is, there is an agri insurance company, AIC, which is again linked with all the nationalized banks. When you take a crop loan, 1 minute. When you take a crop loan, automatically the premium is deducted and then given to you. So now, how does the weather insurance work in a climate sensitive agriculture? This the farmers should know and people should know. See, suppose if in a district level, the automatic weather station AWS, so it will say that the rainfall received was a very normal rainfall as compared to the last year. So everyday rainfall pattern for 365 days is compared with the earlier year's rainfall pattern, and they said there's absolutely no change in the rainfall pattern, and there was no aberrations in the rainfall pattern. Therefore, the climate is not changed, and therefore, the weather insurance cannot be claimed. But what the farmer says, see, everybody in India or everybody in any place, at least the psychology is this: I paid insurance, therefore, you kindly give me some money. So, I was a bank manager in Gramina Bank about 35 years back. So, at that time, when this Navratri comes, okay, Mar Navami. So, one fellow had actually, he came running in the morning and he said, Sir, nan kuri sattogide. He told that his sheep had died and therefore he want to claim the insurance. It's a livestock insurance. Okay, I said, okay, bring the carcass of your sheep, bring the dead body of your sheep. Then that fellow said, it is in my bag. I said, how can a big sheep go into a bag? So that fellow had actually what he did on the Navratri festival, he had cut the sheep, eaten the lower portion, brought only the head portion. That he had kept it in his bag, and he told, since the veterinary officer is your friend, there was one Mr. J. Venkatesh, he was my veterinary officer, BVSC classmate, and I was in BSc. He said, why don't you claim? I said, you see, such wrong claims can give a wrong signal and wrong narrative to the society, and we sent him off. So that is how, see, now the climate smart village program. So we use farmer participatory approach. See, without convincing farmer, I cannot ask him to change the variety, ask him to go for a C3 plant and do, 10 times of sowing, dibbling in cotton. Then local knowledge and plants. Obviously, people will know that which weed is going to come in which season and when it's going to put. Everything is not about spraying some 2,4-D molecule which works only on the dicotyledonous plants. But how are you going to take care of the monocot thing, especially crassipus? Okay, you have got all those cynodon, dactylon, and all those things. So local knowledge and plants are important. Precision agronomy principles. See, whether you are going to do early sowing or late sowing. So many of my students say, Sir, nan gottilla. So you can't say gottilla or I don't know to anyone. Then obviously using modern ICT tools, then obviously capacity strengthening the FPOs, farmers in all those things, and integrating that in the village development plan. So that's the reason you see here. So drought can come, a heat wave can come, an extreme rainfall can come, floods can occur in the northeast, West Bengal, and so on and so. The sea level is already increasing. Okay, this is Mr. Agarwal 2015 from CIMET who has published this. And look at all these things. How the red to blue, which are more, see here, the blue indicates very heavy rainfall, Chirapunji and so on and so forth. Okay, and look at all over Karnataka, which is again coming under the dry zone, how the rainfall pattern. These are all climate smart villages, whatever has been numbered. 1,000 villages in Maharashtra. Okay, we have got one village in Karnataka where we have trained the farmers, the FPOs, the entire KVK has been geared to take certain agronomic and other decisions and extension decisions, okay, when the climate changes. See, especially you see all this Bangladesh, West Bengal, and the Chirapunji, Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram. Oh my God, that's all very high rainfall area. At the same time, the soil depth is also not there. They are all highly laterite soil, absolutely not even 3 to 4 centimeters of soil is there. And come to the Rajasthan desert, now the Indira Gandhi Nehar or the Indira Canal is running here. Okay, and therefore, our need is to develop climate smart villages. How does climate smart villages come? Climate smart villages comes with developing the community or the communes, what we say, into the changes which are occurring through El Nino, the drought, the flood, and all the other changes, and even disease forecast. If you ask Dr. Sriram, our pathology head of plant protection at IHR, he will tell you which fungal disease is going to come in the month of June. And every day he can tell you if you want. And then we have also called as NIVEDI, National Institute for Veterinary Epidemiologicals, which is going to do disease forecasting. They will tell you when the foot and mouth disease will come in Yalanka. And they will also tell you when the disease mastitis is going to come in Bidar district. You know, this is the information and science which is already available both in ICR, agriculture universities, the Krishi Vigyan Kendras, more than, we have around 780 KVKs in this country with 726 districts. Every district, one thing. And now the WODOP has already come. One district, one product. How did we come out with the WODOP concept? WODOP concept is also a climate smart agriculture concept. For example, Koppal district is, is supposed to grow more of guava. That has been identified for producing the red guava. But unfortunately, I did a lot of work in Koppal district. Okay, they are growing Kesar Alfonso. It's absolutely fine. But they have a potential to grow guava, both the soil and the climate, but they're not doing it. Therefore, when I come with the Vodop concept, you should also change the crop. You should also promote the crop which is more effectively going to be utilized in a particular district. For example, I was in the places of Gangavati. Gangavati is called Bhattada Nadu. It is full of paddy. Actually, that soil is not suitable more for paddy. You take all over Mandya, because Vishweshwaraya canal came, they made only sugar cane and paddy. But you take that Nagamangala district, where my initial career, I was a manager there. Nagamangala district specializes in vegetables. Very brilliant. Okay, that is how people have to specialize the crop, okay, with the particular moisture and so on. Okay. So, how the climate smart villages or we are going to agriculture. It should be weather smart, water smart, carbon smart, nitrogen smart, energy smart, and knowledge smart. I will explain one by one. Weather smart. Okay, when drought will occur. Okay, when the drought is going to be declared, when the rainfall is going to be delayed, or it's going to have early rainfall. This time, what happened? In the month of June, we received a rainfall 1 week early. So therefore, farmers should be ready with their sowing material, already plowed the land and water smart. Okay, the water table has gone down. There is no rainwater harvesting. Okay, the community has mismanaged the water, or some big farmer has drained away all the water. It should be changed. Carbon smart, obviously agroforestry, land use system and livestock management. Okay, recycling the livestock waste, disposal of the carcass. Okay, all these things are going to enrich our carbon smart villages, especially when I come with organic farming principles. Okay, that is also called natural farming, keeping the flora and fauna in mind. How are you going to enrich the azotobacter population? Already mycorrhiza population is there which does phosphorus mobilization. How are you going to enrich these things? Rather, if you go on putting inorganic inputs, and if you don't improve the microflora and fauna, that means both the plant and the animals and the microbes, okay, phylum Protista, what we told. So you are not going to be energy smart as well. Knowledge smart. Every technology is there, whether it is GKVK or IAHR or ICR, knowledge is there, but all our extension workers are very ignorant. Okay, they know only how to operate the mobile, but they do not know what content should go. See, half of them, I'm a national trainer of all the scientists. If you ask them the difference between Kharif, Rabi, and summer, it's all pa 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 ta ta ta. They don't answer. People don't know the difference between an ox and a bull. Oh my God. So they are all BVSC veterinary fellows. Okay. So we'll clarify. So capacity building, obviously we told you. So climate smart agriculture. Okay, all these things were there. Okay, so see here. So for climate smart agriculture, what are the things that the government has launched? Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, obviously weather insurance. Okay, soil health card scheme. Okay, we ran here and there. Then you look at this. We are digging all the water harvesting pits and soaking pits and recharge wells. Sinchai Yojana, okay, even drip irrigation and not definitely flood irrigation. That's a very bad method of wasting water. Just because you have water, see many times I stay in a flat of 356 people. Just because we have too much of water, there are some people anyway we are paying maintenance charge. What will happen if the water is drained out? Arey yaar, water is a public resource. See, even a society or a maintenance people, we should have to, we have 2, 3 bore wells. Last year, summer, the bore wells got dried up. So we were bringing water from the tankers. So water, it is just like a hotel. Just because you have money, you should not order food and waste it. Okay. So therefore, all these things are there. Okay. Soil mapping. Okay. Then, the people also talk about linking, um, linking the rivers with other rivers. But the Kaveri Commission report, and then this Kaveri litigation between our Hogenical project in Kanakapura district, and then the Bhavani Dam, Bhavani Sagar Dam, and all that. Okay, see now the solar cooperative obviously energy efficient. Instead of using more of diesel, petrol, running a diesel engine, and all that, use solar operated material, soil health card scheme. Every survey number in India with 624 million hectares has to be mapped. Okay, so that is how it's already going to do. And let's look at how this Sauni Yojana, especially in Gujarat, they have tried to link the resource or take the tributaries and link them here and there so that, every river is going to be recharged and finally it is going into the Arabian Sea. You can have a look at this particular map, how they are doing all the CSA in Gujarat. Okay, Narmada waters to reach Saurashtra. Saurashtra or Kutch. Have you seen this? Yeah, have this lower portion. That is called the Kutch region. Not the Jamnagar region, but here, we have Veraval port, and here our Dwarka, Lord Krishna's kingdom is here, almost in this corner. So, and this is all very, if you see the soil, Kutch, Saurashtra Kutch means all marshy lands, waterlogged things, high salinity. So you require some water, and then when Modi was the chief minister in the first term, all these things were initiated, and that's how they do climate change. So building synergies. So the International Maize and Wheat Improvement Center is doing this job because maize and wheat are C4 plants. Please understand this. And don't ask me C4 plant and C3 plants. My students, I will give a homework. C4 plants are more energy efficient. It has got a better photosynthetic. Yes. Some property spam. Okay. They have no other job. Okay. So therefore, more and more of C4 plants, more and more of climate resilient plants, more and more of organic seed, okay, and more of drought tolerant varieties, and more of flood tolerant varieties. See, for example, if you go to West Bengal, okay, paddy is grown inside a lake, that means not just waterlogging. It is, the paddy is actually become an aquatic plant over there. That is there's a variety called Krishna. Okay, so they have developed. If you come to Orissa, we have the NRRI, the National Rice Research Institute at Cuttack, very near Bhubaneswar. That is called upland rice, direct seeding of rice, no puddling, no tractor, no waterlogging, nothing. Simply paddy is sown as if we are sowing some red gram or cotton. That's called upland rice. Again, climate sensitive. And we have a flooded situation in some parts of Assam, that Brahmaputra river basin and all that. There it is grown. Okay. So that is how we are building synergies. Okay. Even government is helping. Okay. All are helping. Okay. Our future target is to, CCARAI, that means this is one of the project implemented by at least 4 states now, MP, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu and West Bengal for logging. TN also very different weather situation. Rajasthan dry weather. Okay, Madhya Pradesh full of soya bean. Okay, and supported in 18 states. So it's called climate change adaptation in rural areas of India. It's one project. Climate smart villages, I told you, we are developed in Haryana, Bihar, Punjab and Maharashtra, around 1,000 villages. Maharashtra leads. Maharashtra is very, very efficient both in horticulture, agriculture. My goodness, even farmers are, you should give one PhD to each farmer. He's so much ready. Then climate change adaptation in semi-arid regions. Okay, this is again in all our desert areas, our Thar desert. Okay, program on sustainable agriculture, livestock, water resource management. BIF has been doing and working. Then smallholder agriculture and climate change, natural resource management. Oxfam is an NGO working in so and so states. Then toolkit to enable local governments to develop climate resilience. Okay, strategies and plan of action. So the ultimate purpose of what today's discussion is, no farmer should come and knock the door of the agriculture minister or something. Sir, ನನ್ನ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು ಸರ್, ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. See, that means in Kannada what we say, I am ignorant. Okay, I did not know. I did not plan. So this excuse nobody is going to take. And you heard about farmer suicide and all that. Do you mean to say that myself and my student who has logged in here are responsible for farmer suicide? No, a technology, there are many PhD theses here. I wish to tell my students. See, there was one Babji Rao Nakka, he was my classmate in PhD. So his thesis was rejected. You know why? Because the thesis told, okay, farmer suicide, okay, and technological change. So that means, what is his hypothesis? He says that because technology has changed, farmers are committing suicide. There are so many medical drugs which are coming. Misuse or use of a drug, you cannot make the ICMR, the Indian Council of Medical Research, responsible. Similarly, thousands of technologies are coming from ICR, Agri 67 agriculture universities and so on. They may promote it, but if your crop fails, whether they will come and give you some money? No. Therefore, creating awareness, creating climate smart communities, whether through FPOs, individually or anything. See, we cannot go on training individual farmers. Therefore, we have about 15,000 to 20,000 farmer producer organization in this country. We train them. Okay. So all this, the science part we told, the fisheries part we told, there was a Kannada movie which was done by this Ravi Chandran fellow. Okay, so, in a village, somebody poisons the lake and all the fishes started dying. So then they all went and said, who has poisoned the lake? So a lake or a water body or a rainwater harvesting structure or a moisture which is conserved by a community is not your individual resource. A village does not belong to one farmer or a one person. So therefore, it is a community organization and everybody are responsible to do all these things. And even rural drinking water, obviously the polluted rural open defecation, rural sanitation is bad. So all that will enter the drinking water stream. The livestock will die. Humans also will die. Then, polluting the tanks. Then livestock related. Okay, if you poison all the water bodies, where will they drink? So all this comes under climate smart agriculture. Now there was a small study, Dr. Padaria, okay, he was my batchmate in PhD. He is now the director of joint director extension at IRA. They took 100 sample size, very interesting to all my extension workers. Look here. So, according to the knowledge level about climate change, I told you one study was done here. You see here, majority of the farmers have got only medium level of climate change knowledge. Okay, very high is quite less. So actually this green has to become blue. That means people should be more aware. I also ask my students, what is the difference between intelligent farmer and unaware farmer? Farmer is not dull. You should not say somebody is dull. He is unaware, that's all. So you should be aware. Suppose you catch a train, okay, your ticket is booked, you have a PNR number, your coach is allotted, but you forgot to know and take information whether the train is running late or it is correct, running correct time, or there is an accident or whatever. So that responsibility is because of you. So now, how to mitigate the impact of climate change? Okay, again the same 250 farmers. So farmers, majority of them, okay, look here. Just a minute, just I'll show this. See, look at this very important figure. Our small farmers are having better adaptation to climate change. Beautiful. Intercropping also done mostly by small farmers. Right? Okay. Cultivating tree crops is done by large farmers because large farmer does not depend on land to eat his food. He has got other business. But whereas a small farmer has to use the land efficiently, he has to have 300% cropping intensity, grow 3 times a year, make some money for his small family of 6 children. See, normally, let me tell my extension students who are sitting here, what is a family defined? Because this may come in your ARS examination, you should know. A family is considered as a group of 6 people. That means husband, wife, and there will be 2 old people, grandfather, grandmother, and they will have 2 children, male or female. So this is defined as a family in India. It is not just nuclear family like me, just husband, wife, and one small daughter. Okay, please understand. These are all. Then soil organic matter enhancement again was done equally by small and medium farmers, whereas big farmers did not care about carbon enrichment or using organic. They were mostly inorganic. That means they are not bothered about the greenhouse gases or the any other thing. Drought resistant crops, majority of the medium farmers use drought resistant crops to do it. Okay, mixed farming system, very important finding, 93.33% are going to use mixed farming system. That is to diversify your risk. It is something like a student going for an exam. You should not read only one subject in depth. That is called vertical reading. You should have horizontal reading. You should mitigate your risk overall. Okay. Then socio-economic factors, obviously reduce consumption expenditure. Again, small farmers are smarter. Shifting to other profession, 80%. Not only farming, they will do carpentry, masonry. Okay, they will also have subsidiary occupation. Borrowing is again very high in small farmers. Okay, every time he wants some money. Crop insurance is again, everybody, it's only 11.11% overall. That means people are not interested in weather insurance. They want, this also in Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, we told people are not so aware and interested in climate change as a variable. Selling of land and livestock, again, small farmers are highly vulnerable. They sell the land. Okay, this is how it goes. So what are the measures we told you? Intercropping, yes, everybody wants. Rainwater harvesting, people are not aware because rainwater harvesting is developed by the panchayat. So they want panchayat office to give the money. And because the rainwater tank or a small open gomala land where they put this plastic mulch and harvest the rainwater, the water is again shared. They are called WUA, Water Use Associations. So who is going to take water? So suppose I am having, let us say, 10 gallons of water. Okay, that is again based on the land which you own. and you want 20 acres. So obviously you will have more water, and my 10 gallons of water I can sell it to you at a price. All such extension methodologies are also in place. Obviously mulching they are very aware. Zero tillage they don't know at all. Improved varieties they are quite aware. They will tell you which variety. For example, our dragon fruit, we have the red dragon fruit, we have the white dragon fruit. Red dragon fruit is more, drought tolerant. ITK knowledge to control disease, 95% are very well aware. Simply by seeing the symptom on the leaf or the things, they can control and have a very good climate sensitive agriculture. Agroforestry, obviously quite good. Crop rotation, again they are not doing because paddy after paddy, same monocrop after monocrop, tomato after tomato in Kolar and other areas. Whether glut will occur or they get 250 rupees per kilo of tomato, and people did that Lakshmi Puja very recently. People became millionaires. They are not aware and not interested. It is not the question of awareness, okay? So all these things are there. Climate vulnerability, adoption to climate vulnerability, because our holdings are small, therefore we can't do it. Low literacy level is another reason. Then resilience, they're quite, they're not aware. Traditional beliefs related to farming practice, people don't want to dispose the carcass, or, especially this pig waste. You get plenty of pig waste because from the slaughterhouses. But farmers have a taboo. ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವುದೋ ಇದು ಪ್ರಾಣಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡಿದು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಹೊಲಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕಾ? So that is a traditional belief. Okay, then obviously poor extension service and climate risk management. Many of our extension workers are all WhatsApp warriors. They are 99% on the WhatsApp and sending emojis. Hello, oh. But rarely they send information to farmers. Access to information source, non-availability of institutional credit is major reason. Again, the money lenders are operating here because each farmer would have taken loan from 5 to 6 banks. And obviously, if you feed his name and Aadhaar number, it will tell you that that fellow took a loan from 6 banks. Okay. Then not many drought tolerant varieties. Of course, now both IAHR and others are coming out with these technologies. Highly dependent on monsoon, not on drip irrigation and all that. Cost of irrigation facilities is very high, and even our Karnataka State Agriculture Department and Horticulture Department, for SC/ST farmers, they are giving 100%. That means the entire drip irrigation system is given free of cost. In spite of that, they don't want to use. Difficulties in shifting to different cropping patterns. See, I was in this Davangere district. My goodness, times immemorial, even I saw some of Mangalore, that side. Now say Ghattad Kelige, Ghattad Mele. Okay, all those things. Areka and Areka. How much of Areka you will grow? See, Areka takes a lot of water. If you reduce water, see in Areka, I'll tell you, I've done both research from extension side, from agronomy side. Areka takes 120 grams of NK, that is potash should be high, 100 grams of nitrogen, okay, just 80 grams of phosphorus. That's enough. If yesterday my wife told, you eat bananas. Well, what will happen when you eat bananas? It is rich in potassium. Potassium will, enhance many of your, it will avoid your risk for getting things. So therefore, Areca is very heavily dependent on potassium. At the same time, it is a highly water demanding crop. But you ask any Areca farmer and say, sir, climate is changing, water is reducing, or things are happening, he does not shift from Areca. Therefore, the extension challenge is how to change the attitude of people. There was a saying, I used to often quote this saying, all wars begin in the minds of men. It is there that we have to construct the defenses of peace. So the culprit is the attitude. It is not, everybody has got knowledge, everybody has got skills, but unfortunately they don't want to change and adapt. Okay, that is how all these studies are there. Okay, then from research side, okay, low cost cultivation implements, that's coming out by CREDA, and then we have a Central Institute for Agri Engineering at Bhopal, okay, where a lot of these drum seeder, and then all these things are coming, which are very, very effective for climate sensitive agriculture. Then voluntary organizations should take initiation for construction of farm ponds. My friend Dr. Srinath Dixit, he was in Krida, now at ICRISAT. He developed a small participatory approach with farmers, how the community ponds have to be managed in villages. It's a very brilliant piece of work. It is not just the publication part. Organizing the villagers and farmers to run a community pond, it's not such an easy task because everybody would like to draw more water. Okay, then all the relief programs, then weather insurance, okay, then using mass media for distribution, all those things are very important. I can go on and go on, okay. Okay, distribution of farmers according to levels of preference by scoring and bidding for rice growing technologies. Okay, look at this one. Many practices were done, especially green manuring is high. Okay, Sri cultivation, system of rice intensification. All my Tamil Nadu people know that is alternate wetting and drying. You do it here. Okay, and then weather advisories are also the bidding. Scoring is high, but bidding is low. That means, okay, this is a conducted in Bihar. So you can see that the which technology of all these rice growing technologies are used. Okay, laser leveling. You know, if you don't do leveling also, what will happen? Moisture will evaporate. So you should capture more water. So, and willingness to pay. Look at this. Where is WTP? I'll show you here. So therefore, people are aware but not going to do. People are not aware and not doing. Okay. Okay, this can be two, continuum on the semantic differential. See, I am an intelligent person, but I don't follow any rules or I don't follow any climate sensitive agriculture. I am not aware and nobody told me to follow, but I'm interested to follow. I have the attitude to do it. So this is a lesson to all my extension students here, that how to bring the changes in the attitude and also willingness to pay and also willingness to do some practices. Today, all dry farming technologies, climate sensitive technologies has been only a narrative. It has not translated still to extension like our green revolution and evergreen revolution. You see how we brought the green revolution. All our extension workers in the training and visit system, they used to learn the new technologies, go to the IADP and IAAP. Many of you were not born. This happened in 1965, 62 to 65. Intensive agriculture development program, intensive area program, okay, where command areas, assured irrigation, we started putting more rice and wheat. That is how we could get the green revolution. Today we say evergreen revolution. Evergreen revolution talks about climate sensitive agriculture, it talks about dry farming, it talks about organic farming, it talks about the flora and fauna of the soil. Okay, all those things we should be sensitive. On one hand, I think my time is going up and Dhanlakshmi will give me a call here. So to very quickly conclude, awareness creation on one side and knowing the government policies on the other side, and learning more and more about your land, your crops, including the marketing and the advisory services by my extension system, all these things need integration. Ignorance is a bliss, people say. See, some people, many times, I hear arguments both at home and outside. Sir, ಯಾಕೆ ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಕೋತೀರಾ ಸರ್, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇದ್ಬಿಡಿ, ಜಾಲಿಯಾಗಿ ಇದ್ಬಿಡಿ, ನೆಮ್ಮದಿಯಾಗಿ ಇದ್ಬಿಡಿ. This is a very famous dialogue. So people say, why are you cracking your head? Be aram say. Yeah, I will be very cool. I will not be aware and I will not crack my head and let my crops go to hell and let my income go to hell and I will not do anything. So therefore, friends, today's agriculture is not only scientific agriculture, it is more about management. You should know what is climate sensitive agriculture, you should know what rainwater harvesting, you should know El Nino, you should know when the humidity is going to increase or decrease. All warning systems are there. All those things, when you integrate it along with your package of practices, you can escape the risk and you can mitigate the risk. I think I need not tell you what is the difference between mitigation and avoidance. Mitigation means I already have a pain. The pain will not go away. I should only manage the pain. That is called mitigation. Avoiding is I don't have any pain and I don't want new pain to come. That is being very happy. So today we say in climate sensitive agriculture, mitigation, all the external threats will come. But if you are sensitive, you can try to avoid them. I give an example in my risk management class to students. Suppose a snake is going to come inside your house. We cannot say the snake not to come. Already the prevention is taken. We put all that obstacles and all. But even if it comes, what is your management strategy is what we are asking in climate sensitive agriculture. Similarly, effect on agriculture, look here. People have only medium awareness. Only 29% are aware. So this figure indicates we should create more awareness. Okay, then extension professionals. Only 33% are having high knowledge. Otherwise, they are having PhDs and MBAs, and they may pass ARS and become scientists also. But it is not enough. If I ask some questions to my own extension scientists, okay, that's how it works. Okay, then information, source, okay, boss, clientele, training, all those things are there. Similarly, we should increase the awareness level at every course. So then even integrated, these are some of the training needs in climate sensitive agriculture. Okay, the mean scores, look at this. The first rank comes climate change and its effect. This, we should start our work from here. Obviously, the second rank comes to organic farming as a measure of climate sensitive agriculture. Then this is our extension IT professionals. Okay, they say that we will do web design and we will do mobile apps, and then we will, we will spread our climate sensitive agriculture technologies. Anyway, so it goes. Agro advisory. Look here, only very few people want to change. Okay, and majority, they have taken a sample rate of 775. Negative change, that means after giving agro advisory, they have become negative. Means what? The extension worker has created a negative attitude, which is a very dangerous trend for an extension worker. Same thing with the adoption, and this is for adoption of climate sensitive practices. Minus 25. After advisory services, 25% of the fellows stopped adoption. This is a very, very dangerous trend. Okay. So anyway, there are some success stories as well. Okay, all those things, the gap filling, thinning, seed treatment, avoid insecticide, use more of this one. Okay, then potassium chloride spray. Okay, that is to when sufficient moisture is available. Okay, nipping terminal buds, we told you. We don't want more vegetative growth in case of cotton. So then foliar spray of TNAU cotton plus. That's again, Amul plus. Everybody has come out with this foliar spray. Okay, which is full of enzymes, naphthalene, acetic acid, gibberellic acid. Then we also have nano fertilizer. Nano DAP has comes in 500 ml bottle for climate sensitive things. So, okay. AAS, Agriculture Advisory Service, and AAS. Now, very quickly, we'll compare. See, the Agriculture Advisory, the person who used the Agriculture Advisory Service is having slightly good benefit across many things, whether it is price of cotton, cost of plant protection. See here, AAS farmer has used less of pesticide as compared to without advisory services. That fellow used 14,000 rupees. So therefore, okay, weeding, nipping, spraying, it has been done with advisory service. The other fellow has not done. But finally speaking, the awareness and advisory services about climate sensitive agriculture to farmers has given a benefit of 2.3 as compared to 1.71. For every 1 rupee of investment in this, it gives 2 rupees 30 paisa, whereas the non-advisory gives. So all my extension students, be very proud to be in the extension profession. We are the change agents. We are the world. Okay. That was we are the world. Okay. That was a song by Bonium, I think. Okay, we can change the world. We can definitely change. If not 100%, we can start the change because we are called change agents and not as some extension scientists and all that. So that's all for today, folks. I can go on and on. And I stop the meeting at this stage. I now take questions. Shall I end, Dhanlakshmi madam? Hello? I'll
Yes, sir,
end the
you can
show.
end.
Yeah, I end the show.
No,
Yeah.
actually, we
Because
have gone
yeah,
beyond the time.
yeah, no problem. I'm
Okay.
sorry because this topic was a bit
Yes, I
this one.
understand.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm very sorry for this time.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. One
So,
minute. I'm just
yeah,
expanding.
sure.
Yeah, please ask questions, ma'am.
Yeah, just one second. Okay. So, what are the key climate smart practices that small and marginal farmers can adopt in horticulture?
Yeah, in horticulture and agriculture, basically the farmer has to concentrate on the planting material. See, suppose let us say that there are 1000 plants in an acre. Let us say with a very modest spacing of 10 by 10 or whatever. He has to ensure the plant population of 1000. He cannot leave some 100 plants vacant. He has only 900 plants as compared to this. So that is a very, very important issue. Number one. Second thing is the fertilizer doses which he is going to adhere, he should place it exactly in the root zone and not somewhere throwing. And the placement of fertilizer is a very crucial issue in case of horticulture, especially we say rhizosphere. See, suppose you have got a grape twine, okay. Now, it is a taproot system and it has also got a peripheral root system. The primary meristematic roots would have gone up to, let us say, 1 meter left, right, and all the directions. He has to do the fertilizer placement at that 1 meter level, not exactly at the rhizosphere near the tree. This varies. So, suppose vegetables are there. See, vegetables have got a very shallow root system and it's only a 90-day crop, 60-day crop. You have to place it exactly on the ridge. See, we have got ridge and furrow. In Kannada, dibba halla, okay, we say. You have to place the fertilizer on the ridge. Unfortunately, people are putting it in the furrow. Furrow is used only to give irrigation. Fertilizer has to be placed in the ridge. See, I am not a farmer's son, but I know this much of agriculture. But unfortunately, farmers also will know this, but I think the laborer is very lazy because placing the fertilizer in the ridge requires a little extra time and care. Otherwise, he's going to damage the ridge. So, third thing is, okay, forecasting diseases and pests. See, suppose I am going to tell you that the stem borer in the month of June, we have this Chaturmasa Vrata, that means you also must have heard. So they told that the first month of Chaturmasa, which almost starts with the Ashada, they say that vegetables should not be eaten. Why? Because Sikkapate, lot of stem borer, insect attack is going to come. Therefore, our elders had this indigenous technical knowledge, and you should be able to forecast when the pest will come. See, before getting fever, you can ask anyone, even we are very, very things. Sir, fever barongide, sir. So, you should expect that you will get a fever and have a paracetamol ready and take it. Similarly, farmers also should be able to forecast the fungal growth. For example, in grapes, especially powdery mildew and downy mildew, some white spores will come. They are very, very minute spores. It looks as if somebody has dusted some chalk piece on the leaf. Nobody has dusted chalk piece, but they are all the fungal spores. Immediately you should take action. But once when the fungal spores develop into larger spores, control cannot be taken. Then fourth thing is more crop per drop. That means you should be able to utilize your drip irrigation and other irrigation. We also call it as pitcher irrigation, especially in horticulture. What they do, they make a small hole around in and around the tree, and they place one small pot and they drill a minute hole. so that the water should start going like a drip, exactly like our drip. Okay, like that also people are designed. Okay, then increasing organic content of the soil, that will hold more moisture, obviously. So these are all some sensitive things to take place. They are definitely not time consuming, but they involve skill, they involve care. Even while cooking, okay, everybody can cook rice, mudde and any dal or something. But giving that Waggarane, or we say tadka, is very, very important. That is going to enhance the taste of your food. That's why everybody is going outside. So I was telling my students how to find out that a hotel is very prosperous or not. Whether it is roadside or it is a restaurant, there will be very heavy rush. That means that particular hotel is serving very tasty and nutritious lunch meals or whatever. Okay, so that's how it is. So farmer should be sensitive to the crop, to the variety. He should use a drought resistant variety or the appropriate variety for sodic soil, acidic soil and so on. All those informations are available. Even our extension workers will tell you. We don't need to contact the scientists at all. That's
Okay.
quite possible. So awareness is the key, madam. That's it.
Okay. And how can farmers manage temperature and rainfall variability to reduce crop losses?
See, now, every day, okay, we have this Krishi Karikrama, okay, we have this, so many advisories are coming on the radio, they are coming on the mobile apps. Even your friend in Kolar can tell me, okay, there is a friend of mine in Kolar who is attending this session. So, we have paid. Today, you need not go to a particular place and really take a AW, automatic weather station, and measure the rainfall. Those days are gone. ಏನೋ ಮಳೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಸೊ ಇವನ್ ಇನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಡ್ರೈವಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ 98.3 FM ಇದು ಚಾಲಾ ಹಾಟ್ ಗುರು ಸೊ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್ ನೀವು ಹುಷಾರು ಈ ಬ್ರಿಗೇಡ್ ರೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಬೇಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಳೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸೊ ಸಚ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಅವೈಲಬಲ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ ಇಟ್ ಸಿ ವೆನ್ ಸಂಬಡಿ ಈಸ್ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 2 ದಿವಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೋಲಾರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಳೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸೊ ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಅವನು ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಿಪ್ರೇಷನ್ ಈ ಶುಡ್ ಡೂ ಅಂಡ್ ಕೀಪ್ ಇಟ್ ರೆಡಿ ಕೀಪ್ ದ ಸೀಡ್ಸ್ ರೆಡಿ Yuddhakale Shastrabhyase, not searching for seed, not calling laborers when it is in the peak. See, today laborers are kings. They won't be available. Let us say today is Thursday. Saturday, Sunday, they also want to chill out. So you cannot call any laborer. You'll have to plan everything in advance. Have a contingency plan. Contingency plan means alternate plan. If this laborer does not come, the other laborer is ready. So my wife was telling in the morning, we have employed some people. They do more puja than us and they put more leave than what we do. Ultimately, my wife ends up in doing the work. Then many times I argue with her, what is your contingency plan like NICRA, National Initiative for Climate Resilient Agriculture? We are still working. So similarly, farmer also has to have an if and else statement. In software we write, if else, if else, if this does not work, that should work. So he should have a plan, and many of our farmers are quite intelligent. And that too, when you are in an FPO with about 1,000 farmers in each FPO, they already have a WhatsApp group. I think even my extension workers are there in that WhatsApp group, and they will be giving all these updates in the WhatsApp itself. Today, when WhatsApp University is there, everybody are knowledgeable people. I stopped seeing the TV. I see only WhatsApp. Of course, some of them in my house still see the TV program, but I don't see TV. I am only hooked to WhatsApp, and directly I will do video call. Many times people said, sir, yak video call ಮಾಡಿ disturb ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? I said, keep quiet. I want up-to-date, updated information. This is how farmer also should do. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sir, you can
Yes.
stop sharing the screen.
Okay, I'll stop sharing the
So
screen.
that we
Thank
can
you
see
very
your,
much. I sincerely thank agriinformation.com for giving me this opportunity. And today was a rehearsal.
No. Sir, there are few more questions. Only what I was
Acha, I
saying, you
should
can
stop
stop.
sharing the screen. Okay. I'll stop.
Okay.
I'm sorry, please.
That's it. Okay.
I'm very sorry, please. I didn't.
Yeah,
I'll stop sharing the screen. Yeah.
Which horticulture crops are more resilient to climate stress and suitable for changing weather patterns?
See, I will tell you 2-3 examples. from the IAHR's table. Our dragon fruit is a king. He's really called dragon because he's a dragon. The red dragon fruit, if you see the plant, you will understand. Okay, they are all like desert plants. They belong to our cactus family. See, cactus family, what it does, they are called, I know what is it called, man? The cactus, what plant it's called? Succulent plants. Because she is a botanist, so I keep asking her. So it can store water in that succulent, all the stems and leaves are all modified into the succulent plant. So it can withstand drought, it can withstand rainfall, okay, but only if waterlogging is there, our dragon fruit fellow will start rotting. So he is a very good boy. Then next is we have avocado, our butter fruit. We have Arca Supreme. In dragon fruit, let me tell you, there are 2-3 varieties. One is called the horse variety, okay, which is a very, very hardy plant grown in Tamil Nadu, Dharmapuri and that sort of area. It has got 33% fat. Whereas, we have varieties like Arca Supreme, which has about 20% fat. Okay, more the fat content, more is the vulnerability. So you can use lesser fat content butter fruit. Even our mango is a very good boy, let me tell you. But of course, Totapuri is a very hardy plant, but who will eat Totapuri? That's called Bangalore variety. Everybody wants Kesar Alfonso. Okay, Kesar Alfonso is grown in Koppal district or it is grown in Ratnagiri district, Ratnagiri Alfonso. So that is our export oriented mango. So that is also, it does not want water and it can resist climate change. But only in case of mango, after the harvest is over, you give one pruning. Okay, you give one foliar spray in the month of January. I told you to avoid fruit fly, Docus dorsalis. Some little practices. Very easily, even mango can come well. Okay, then coconut is an excellent tree. Of course, it is very, very climate resilient, I should say. But areca is not a climate resilient crop. People should slowly start switching from areca to other crops. Sugar cane will eat away all your water, drink away all your water. Paddy, definitely from paddy you should shift to more of maize, millets, and these are all C3, C4 plants. I think anybody can Google it. My students also will Google and tell me tomorrow what is the difference between C3 and C4 plants. C4 plants are having a different photosynthetic pathway. Like you already know the Melvin-Kelvin cycle, the black reaction, the white reaction, light reaction and all that. So it is more efficient in using both water and light and still performing some photosynthesis. So you should switch over to C4 plants. Okay, so these are all some definite strategies where people to shift. But the only problem which I see is people are resistant to change. Okay, so there was a very great saying by H.L. Neary. He was a psychologist. He told, change is imminent, change is critical. If you don't change, you require 3 times the energy to change. First, you will resist the change. Second, energy, you have to overcome the resistance. Finally, you have to obviously change. Now, AI chat GPT has come. Many of you don't know what is AI chat GPT, whereas our youngsters do it in seconds. So, therefore, adaptation, awareness, and using the right varieties, using the right soil and water conservation measures, and your germination, you should be very, very careful. That is the lead. Instead of 1,000 plants, if you have lost 100 plants, you are out. Your money is gone. You should be very careful with that. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, Pooja, you are also there. Why don't you ask some questions as my student here? Pooja, are you listening? No.
Sir.
Yeah, Pooja, why don't you ask some questions? Let me introduce you to this audience that you are a PhD student in extension and have been doing great job. Pooja, why don't you ask questions from extension side? What can be done to improve this climate adaptation and climate resilience? That's exactly what Dhanlakshmi madam was asking. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, I wanted to know what challenges the extension agents will feel when convincing these things to the farmer.
See, you are now upcoming extension girl, see now farmers will ask, okay, in Kannada I will tell and I will translate into English. Farmers will tell, sir, idella madre duddu barutta. So they will say whether
Sir.
they will get money if they do all these things. How you will tell? So first of all, you as an extension worker should be convinced that by doing these practices, their money will come, their yields will be increased, they will get market rate. See now in tomato, for example, you come from Kolar area, which is predominantly tomato. In Kharif season, tomato yields are high, but the rates are not high. So glut situation is there in Kharif. Okay, in Rabi season, it is affected by bacterial blight. Okay, yields are somewhat less. There also the prices don't increase. But if you come to the summer tomato, yields are very less because of TLCV, tomato leaf curl virus. But rates are shooting. It will go up to 100, 150 rupees in the month of summer. So now you as an extension worker has to design certain messages to convince the farmer that you will still get income. How will you do that? That you have to create a new poster or you have to work out from your GKVK technologies and prove that they will do. See, it is like somebody will ask, sir, everybody will go to temple. What benefit I will get? How you will convince? Even I cannot convince anybody. And of course, I don't go much to temples as well. So like that, extension worker should concentrate on the convincing point or TOMA, top of the mind action. Yes, some more questions,
Sir.
please. Yeah. Dhanlakshmi ma'am, over to
Okay.
information. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this girl asked a good question. You can ask. Yeah.
So, what role does precision farming or protected cultivation play in climate smart horticulture?
See, today, right now there is 11th Horticulture Congress going on in GKVK. Okay, all our IHR scientists are there. That's why you can see the background IHR building is empty today. So today they are discussing. See, when in climate change, okay, it is like our Indian army. Even agriculture and ICR is like Indian army. They keep the contingency plan ready. If the germination fails, this is what has to be done. If the cuttings are not sprouting, you use a new cutting. Okay, and then if the meristematic buds and tissues are not coming out, you do pruning, you do girdling. I told you there's a girdling technique which we have standardized in grapes. I'll give an example how that helps precision farming. See, now when the berries of grapes come out, so the leaves are performing photosynthesis. Okay, the nutrient is taken by the roots and it is put to the leaves, and then the flowers have come and the grape berries and bunches have come. Once when the berries have come, the photosynthesis created glucose have to go more to the berries, not to the roots. Say yes. See, like, children require more milk. Older fellows don't require milk because they cannot digest lactose. Therefore, what we do, in the grape trunk, we remove a portion of the phloem. That means the outer bark is called phloem. The inner bark is called xylem. Xylem takes water. Phloem takes the nutrients from the leaf to the berries. So when we give girdling, what we will do, we will make the roots to starve. Roots should not become thick now. So the berries will start becoming thick. And then we also give a small gibberellic acid treatment. That's called dipping. When we dip the grapes in gibberellic acid solution, the berry elongation will occur. Have you seen the green grapes, Tase Ganesh, Sharad seedless? Nowadays, grapes are not only round, except our Bangalore Blue and Anabishai, they are round. But all other commercial grapes, which is for export quality, will have elongated berries. That is because of girdling and also because of dipping in gibberellic acid. Okay, these are some of the measures, small, simple measures. They are not very costly, but you should understand. That's all. And you can increase your income. This is the message for my extension students who are logged in here. Yes, sir.
Okay. Are there any digital tools or apps developed by ICIR and ICIIHR to support climate smart decisions?
Yeah, see now IHR has got a a digital horticulture project. I think I don't know how many crores they spent. Already, in IHR, my own colleague, Dr. Chandraprakash, Reena Rosie, and myself, we did that Arka Vyapar app long back. That was about 3-4 years back. That is for a commercial platform. And knowledge giving apps. For every crop, there is an app. You can come to the IHR website, log in, download it in Play Store, and start using. If you are a grape farmer, you have a grape app. If you are a tomato farmer, have those apps. They're all available in one place, and you can get online information. Apart from that, okay, we have one more project for this, the DST sponsored project, where we are creating all small farmers group for both women farmers, FPO groups, all WhatsApp groups are created, and every day videos, audio, photos, and all this online discussion takes place. And people join those meetings, and there are heated arguments over there. So our job is to improve the awareness. Whether his adoption will increase or not, I am not very sure. It is the KPDC model of Rogers: knowledge, persuasion, decision, and confirmation, which my students will write in the ARS exam. Okay, we are giving a knowledge gap should not be there. Persuasion is happening through all this social media, Instagram, WhatsApp, and there is a video for every damn thing. Okay, then decision has to be taken, and today the FPOs also sit for meeting, and lot of decisions are also taken. And finally, the confirmation. So today, as if you compare the Green Revolution days, and if you compare our today's Indian farmer with about 10 years back, I think today not many suicides are occurring, or not many losses are occurring because of mismanagement. Losses are occurring because of the act of God. That is what the law says. Suppose if a lot of rains come and you lose a crop, the lawyer will say it is the act of God. Earthquake is the act of God. So today, it may be an act of God or flood or something, but farmers are already diversified. They have contingency plan in place, and they know that their yields will be less. See, for example, I asked my scientists to do a study why the tomato rates went up to 250. Okay, this student from Kolar should answer this question. She should write a research paper on these things. See, simply people say age, adoption, knowledge gap, the cause and effect. You know what the farmers do? That is called the vicious circle. Today the tomato rate is 250 rupees. So farmer is tempted, and again he puts tomato. Next season there is a record bumper production. The prices fall to as low as 2 rupees. 2 rupees to 250 rupees. The volatility percentage is 248. Highest price minus lowest price is called volatility. Highly volatile. Whether real estate prices will reduce? Never. You see the real estate market, always the land value is increasing. Always the salaries are increasing. Only the farmers' yield and the farmers' prices realized is only fluctuating. So therefore, ICR, economics or extension is doing research continuously and making strategies to make the prices as stable as possible, whether with climate smart agriculture or horticulture. Using technology on one side and using management on the other side. See, I will give a small example. I drive the car. Normally, my car for 1 liter of diesel gives me 23 kilometers when I go only in fifth gear, when I go long. In the city, it gives me 19 kilometers with very good driving. But if the clutch fails and if there is heavy traffic, okay, the mileage comes down to 15 kilometers per liter of diesel. So now what is the management lesson we learn out of this? Avoid, so therefore the road with heavy traffic has to be avoided, and you have to go in shorter roads if you want to increase your mileage. But by going in shorter road, there are other risks. Lot of people will be loitering on the road. You may have an accident and end up paying lakhs and lakhs of fine. Okay, so these are some of the risks, and calculated risk we'll have to manage and then execute it as an extension strategy. This is where we should be very, very careful. Anyway, to teach management to farmers, we are all here. My extension students are here. and there are so many scientists of extension who will be doing this job. Thank you.
Okay. So I'll take up now last question since we are running short of time.
Yeah.
Are there any government schemes or programs supporting climate smart agriculture and horticulture?
Yeah. I showed you the 3 schemes. One is that Fasal Bima Yojana, heavily subsidized. Sinchayan Yojana is there. Okay. And then there is a Paramparagat Krishi Yojana of the Government of India, which supports organic farming, natural farming. Some subsidies are given. Okay. And for the SC/ST farmers, we have this NICRA project where a lot of funds awareness is created and also inputs are given from time to time. And all our agri and horti departments and extension workers and everybody, they also run this program. And even our BSAG students in the RAWE program are taken to villages, and not like the past. They are also trained how to meet the farmer, how to counsel a farmer, what things he has to take. ICR has developed hundreds of mobile apps for these things. But what is still required is integrating all these things. It is something like you have cooked the food is very tasty, okay, and everything is fine, but there is nobody to serve the food at home. Then what the child will do? It will not eat the food at home. It will order from Swiggy and Zomato and eat it. So therefore, this sort of management, you can definitely bridge the gap. There is still scope for people to make them more climate sensitive, more climate awareness, and definitely improve the income, productivity, and standards of living. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah,
Now
thank you,
we'll,
all my students. One Pooja girl has come. Thank you, ma. So nice. I'll leave the meeting
yeah,
and then we
we'll end
will
this
discuss.
meeting now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. So
Thank you,
nice
sir.
of you there. I'll leave the meeting. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.